Ever since I was a little girl, I always knew that I had a purpose, and I knew that I had a story to share. I didn't know what that story was or how it was going to unfold, but I knew that there was something there, and all my suffering wouldn't be for naught. I'd be able to help others through their own trials and tribulations.
Say hi, Lauren. Lauren. Lauren, who sings? Lauren, who sings?
So this video, while it may look really cute, and it is adorable, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the cutest, I still look the same. It's a really good example of what hypervigilance is. So hypervigilance is a heightened state of alert. And what that means is that your body is always looking for danger, even if there's not danger. So there's perceived danger and there's real danger. But if your body's always in a heightened state of alert, it affects your hormones, it affects every part of everything. It affects your brain capacity, how you can function, how you could interpret the world around you. And while there's a lot of good that goes with that, there's also a lot of bad. I remember being told that I would, go with their friends who were childless, and I'm childless now, and I can't imagine being upset about this. But my mom specifically told me that, while I was so tiny and so little growing up, and it wasn't until I really started eating real food that I started to gain weight. And not only did I start to gain weight, but I was not even in my body enough to know when I was full. Now I know this in retrospect, but I ended up eating so much that I would throw up. And that's not normal behavior for a 2-year-old. And, when you combine that behavior with hypervigilance and that, the video from, I just called to say I love you, you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together a little bit. But I was told that I was throwing up. I was told that I was, shameful to the family. I remember being told at 3 years old that the bathing suit that I was wearing was horizontal stripes make you look wide or fat. And that's also not normal. So there hasn't been a time that I haven't been on a diet, that I haven't looked at my body as an enemy, that I haven't looked at food as an enemy. So my mom really was determined to give me an eating disorder. I do remember at 5 years old being, in the doctor's office and him saying, you have to get her weight under control. And that's been a theme throughout my entire life. How many people do you know that have lost over 100 pounds multiple times within a 10-year period? Well, now you've met me. My weight loss story alone is just super compelling. I lost 115 pounds in 2013 just by doing 3 hours a week of a boot camp. And I eventually had to scale to 14 hours a week of CrossFit, plus 60 laxatives a night, and really restrictive, starving myself. And it's all a sign of hormonal dysfunction. And if I had been being treated properly from the beginning, I wouldn't have had to work so hard, which actually ended up making my body worse. So I really want to make sure that, I connect with the community and bring awareness to all these things so that people can get proper help and, they're not suffering in silence. And one of the reasons I know that going to market right now is really a matter of striking while the fire is hot is because when I was in Whole Foods just earlier this week, I saw this magazine right in front of their end cap of their aisle. And it's talking about thyroid dysfunction and weight loss and all this stuff. And as I've learned through my adrenal fatigue and all of my hormone issues through all of this, one of the main issues has been thyroid. And a lot of people don't know that they even are suffering with a thyroid disorder just because of the way in which the medical community looks at thyroids. So I really also want to bring awareness to all these types of things that aren't being looked at properly or treated properly because they're looking at it in a silo. In 2016, I had gone to an endocrinologist. I asked for a hormone panel. Doctor didn't approach me with this, and it came back that my testosterone, or the precursor to my testosterone, was at 800 and it's supposed to be at 200. The endocrinologist was testing me for a tumor in my adrenal gland, and it came back that I didn't have one. And all he did was he gave me something to manage the DHES that was supposed to actually make me lose weight, but it made me feel hungry. So I stopped taking it. And he told me to get to a better BMI. But also I was I don't know how I could lose more weight. At that point, I was doing between 5 and 7 hours or more of boot camps, and I was starving myself. And as it turns out, all of these things were disparate responses to trauma and really about being in survival mode. And if doctors, had not just focused on my weight and not just been looking at things in silo in an isolated, format, if they were looking at things holistically, they would have seen that, hey, this girl's there's a lot more going on here and putting the pieces together, and it would have been solved sooner. So that's another reason that I really want to bring this to market, to bring awareness to this.